finish this educational research. I want to finish this chapter. That's why I thought to want to finish this chapter. And yeah, I feel some yeah, I don't have to share all the things, but yeah, so I just want to we are studying about educational research, and it is about education paper number 2, and particularly I am talking about education. And here we talk and it is chapter number 6 and educational research. So in education we talk about what is research education, and what is use of research in education. Also we talk about the scope of educational research and characteristic of educational research, and what is the need and importance of educational research. So we need to understand. And also we talk about scientific research, and there are types of research. So in this we talk about exploratory, explanatory, and descriptive research, and what is the aims we discuss about this also, and types of research. So in this we studied about 3 types of research. So it is basic or fundamental research, applied research, and action research. Also we talk about approaches of educational research, qualitative and quantitative research, design in educational research. So there we talk about historical research, and how you can take historical research. And also you need to focus on things like historical types of historical research, and steps of historical research. Also you need to understand what is experimental research, and what are the use of experimental research, and the steps of experimental research, descriptive research, design. So we all talk about this. And right now I just want to take new topic, that what is a variable and what is hypothesis. So you need to understand you have that basic knowledge about variable and hypothesis. So it is you have to understand what is variable and what is hypothesis. When we try to understand this, so we need to understand concept. So concept is one thing, yani in Hindi we can say ખ્યાલ, અવધારણા ગુજરાતીમાં એને કહેવાય. And the concept and construct have similar meanings, and there is an important distinct concept may be defined as the describable regularity or real imagine events and object. A concept is a set of features connected by some rules, and concept are building block of thinking, and also they allow us to organize knowledge organism. And concepts also represent properties, abstraction, and relationship between features. So you need to understand what is concept and construct. They have similar meanings, but at those words are different. You need to understand concept also represent property, abstraction, and relationship between the feature. For example, achievement. When I say I achieve this, so I can say I have qualified CTET exam, NET exam, and TAT. These are my achievements. So you can put this in a concept. So what are the categories of concepts? So you need to understand there are 2 categories by postulation and concept by institution. So types of 2 concepts, so concrete concept and abstract concept. So what do you understand by concrete concept? So it symbolizes is material object which can be seen, touched, and feel. So when I say I just see this pen and this color in pink. This pen is a color in pink, and it is a pink color pen. So I can touch it, and I can see it by my eyes. So it is like a concrete concept. And when I say abstract concept, so it is like weight and height. So it is refer to properties and characteristic of object. So you can example you can take example of height and weight. And what are the characteristic of concept? So it is like concept are symbols which we can attach to bundle the meanings we hold, and concept represent only one part of reality. Also different people hold different concept of the same thing. When I say I do have a different opinion, and I do have different concept about education, about politics than other people. So they feel कि कृष्णा पागल हो गई, इसको क्या पता है. So I do have things in my mind. So my concept is different than other people. So they they can judge me, and they can comment me on my concept. So it is like every individual here have their concepts in their mind. Yeah, I just want to speak in Gujarati, but here I'm I just want to improve my English. That's why I'm speaking in English. થેન્ક યુ મુકેશભાઈ. પણ તમે એવું કરી શકો છો કે દેર આર લોટ ઓફ યુટ્યુબર્સ, એન્ડ દેર આર લોટ ઓફ teachers who teach in Gujarati, and my focus is on English because I want to improve my teaching skill. That's why I'm speaking in English. Okay, so we need to understand this concept, and we focus on construct. So what is construct? So when I say construct, so it is it is called in Hindi we can say nirman and rachna. Okay, so it is like construct, focus on abstract idea on something inferior from the observable phenomena. When I say this observable phenomena, so I can see those things. And when I say this is pen, so it is like I can see, and I can see this color of pen. So it is abstract observable phenomena. So I can observe this, and it means that scientists continuously and systematically use in two ways. So one is it enters into theoretical schemes and related into various ways to other construct. And two is like intelligence is so defined and specified that it can be observed and measurable. So when we say my weight is 58, so I can measure my weight. And when I say I have a 4'5" height inches, so I can say this all the things. So it is like this. And in construct two things there are, and you need to remember. So also you need to remember what is the concept, and what are the types of concept. So we understand concrete concept and abstract concept. And here we talk about construct. So two types of construct. So first is intervening variables and hypothetical construct. So when I say variable, so variable means it is like in Gujarati we can say chal. Intervening variable, so it is like this variable is interconnect with another variable. We can say like this. And what is hypothetical construct? So it is a theoretical term which is employed to describe something real. So when I say I'm very pure and I'm very real, so people will judge me, and they are like but why you are telling me what to do, and please आप ऐसे don't do this, and I don't want to distract it. You are deleting your comments, and I feel that you are here to disturb me, distract me, but you lovely people, you can't. because I'm in this phase that everyone is like Krishna શું કરે છે આમ ને તેમ ને, તો I don't get distract on this type of comment. So please don't do this, and it is like you are draining your energy, not mine. Like मैंने बहुत बार ऐसे बता दिया है कि भाई मैं ऐसे लोगों के साथ, सांपों के साथ रही हूँ, तो I do have that experience. So please be like and you can't distract me. No, I don't want to guess because no one is my friend. No, like I am my best friend, and my mother, my father, there are two people like I can trust them blindly. So you are not my friend, and you are deleting your comments. So here I understand what is your purpose, and I like understand that you are very familiar, and you try to distract me, but I won't because कि भाई मैं ऐसे बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं मेरी लाइफ में जो मुझे ऐसे डिस्टर्ब करना चाहते हैं, बट राइट नाउ नो वन एंड नथिंग कैन डिस्ट्रैक्ट मी. थैंक यू. And what is a variable? So when I say variable, so it is like in this variable they like changeable, and when I say variable, so we can say in Hindi परिवर्तनशील और वो बदल जाता है. So it is like vary, and it can like their value can change in different things. So a variable is an entity that takes and take on different values, and this means anything that can vary can be considered as a variable, and variable is a concept or abstract idea that can be described in measurable terms. So it is like you have ideas, and you have any idea, and it can be measurable. So it is like very interesting. So variables, when we say in research variables, so it is like I just want to give this example. So I like in my research I I have to take two variables. First women, and second one is men. So these two categories, so we can divide it in like gender of human being, and also I can take a variable as a like I want to take like Ahmedabad's like college student and school to student. So there is a different student and teacher, so I can take this variable also, and it is like a value that can be manipulated, measurable, describe, and control. So it is like value after giving a name become variables, and height, weight, IQ, personality, performance level, income, age, etc. And according to Kerlinger, variable is defined as a property that takes on a different values, and we need to understand what are the types of variables. So independent variable and experimental variable. So what is this? So independent variable are conditioned and characteristic that the experimenter manipulates or control his or her attempt to ascertain their relationship to observe phenomena. And two types of independent variables, so you need to remember this: treatment variables and attribute variables. And what is dependable variable or criterion variable? So dependable variable are the conditions and characteristics that appears and disappear or change as the experimenter introduce. Also they can remove or change independent variable. And what is the extraneous variable? When I say extraneous, so these extraneous variable are those uncontrolled variable that may have a significant influence upon the result of study. So like you can you can't control your variable, and in dependable variable you can control your variable, but here you can't. So what is intervening variable? So when I say intervening, so intervening variable is that factor which theoretical affect the observable phenomena, and but cannot be seen, measured or manipulated it's a different must be inferred from the effect and independent and moderate variables on observed phenomena. For example, in a classroom language experimenter, researcher is interested in determining the effect of immediate reinforcement upon learning and parts of speech. So this is the example, and what do you understand, like next moderate variable. So here we need to understand what is a moderate variable. So it is describes a special type of independent variable and secondary independent variable selected for the study to determine if it affects relationship between primary independent variable and relationship between dependent variable. So it is a moderate and it acknowledge the reason that is a secondary independent variable has been singled out for study. And let's move further. It is you need to understand what is variable and what are the types of variables. So let's move further. Hypothesis. So when I say hypothesis, so it is like parikalpana, and will assume and will predict this will happen in future. So it is called hypothesis, and tentative or subject to the verification. So it is again, hypo means composition of two or more variables which are able to verify. Thesis means position of this variable in specific frame or reference. Okay, you need to remember this also. And sources of hypothesis. So in hypothesis, what are the sources? So there is a theory, observation, analogies, intuitions and personal experiences. So these terms you can use to make a hypothesis. And when I say hypothesis, so it is a tentative situation, right? Also it is a findings and studies, and also you can include culture. And what are the types of hypothesis? So research hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, and null hypothesis. So these are, I don't have to explain, but null hypothesis I have to explain. So null, when I say null, so it is like zero. And when hypothesis is started negatively, it is called null hypothesis. And the object of this hypothesis is avoid to personal biases of investigator, and in this matter of collection data. And null hypothesis is used to collect additional support for known hypothesis. And it is like a zero value, but when I say zero, but we can't I forgot this example. I don't remember those example. And a null hypothesis is designated by H0. And the following example of the null hypothesis. So there is no relationship between number of books read by children and the children's score on reading tests. So this is the example of null hypothesis. And formulation of hypothesis. So how you can formulate a hypothesis? So there are steps in formulating hypothesis. So first is choosing a topic and richness of background knowledge. So you have to understand what is your topic's background, and what is you need to conclude all the things. So you have to read all those things about your topic, your subject. Levels of hypothesis, versatility of intellectual and analogies and other practices, and criteria of formulating a hypothesis. So what are the criteria? So hypothesis must be stated in clear and precise term. Also hypothesis should be testable on the basis of data collected, and tools must be available to measure the variable mentioned in hypothesis, and hypothesis should define variables operationally, not conceptually. And also hypothesis should be limited in scope. So when I say hypothesis, so it is a short and crisp parikalpana, so tentative situation. And what are the characteristic of a good hypothesis? So it is like one of the valuable attribute of a good hypothesis is to predict for future. And we understand, we have to remember and we have to understand that when I say hypothesis, so it is a tentative situation and regarding to your future, and it is about your topic or subject. So hypothesis must have a close contact with observable things and does not believe in air castle, but it is based on observation. So you need to remember this also. And hypothesis should be debatable in every layman. So hypothesis is very simple and short and simple, like a tentative situation. So you created a situation, and hypothesis must be conceptually clear, and a good hypothesis should be tested empirically. So this is it about variables and hypothesis. Let's move further. Research tool sampling and how you can write a writing proposal. Okay, so we need to understand that what are the tools of data collection. So the collection of data is paramount importance in conduct of research. And when I say data collection, so when you do your research, so there are the ways and steps of research. So I can't in first step I can't take data and I can't analyze my data. So I have to put in steps, and step by step I have to go. So it is like data collection. And when I say data collection, so I do have those data in my hand, and I do have this those things about my subject. So it is called data collection. So instruments that are employed to collect new facts or explore new fields are called tools. And what is data collection? So data collection is very helpful, because they provide a picture of your class or work environment, and also they give you clarity about your topic and what are you doing in your research. So it is very important to understand that this will it is a very important part of research. And the goal for using tools is to help the researcher to clarify information, process knowledge, and identify opportunity for continuous improvement. And also you need to understand what is a good tool and what are the criteria to make a good tool. So first is validity. When I say validity, so when we buy some what I say, I forgot. When I say some medical दवाई जब हम खरीदते हैं, तो ऑन दैट दे mention this expiry date and everything. So it is validity. So it is a specific purpose, and there is the foremost consideration one must look for, and while choosing a tool is a purposeful for which in being used. And validity of measures how we fulfill the function. So it is it is called validity. And 5 categories in validity. First is content validity, criteria related validity, construct validity, face validity, and factorial validity. So what is content validity? It is a systematic evaluation of the test content and to determine whatever it covers and representative sample example of behavior dominant or not to be measured. And what do you understand by criteria related validity? So this approach entitled detecting the presence of one or more criteria, and also it is considered the represent trait or construct and interest. So when we say content, so we have one content in our mind, and when I say criteria, so it is like I do have one criteria in my mind. And what is a good criteria tool? So these good tools like characteristics of reliability and accuracy. So accuracy है वो होनी चाहिए, and reliability is necessary but not a sufficient condition for validity. And what is objectivity? So it is an important criteria of a good evaluation tool, and a tool objective if it makes for the elimination of scorers personal opinion, bias and judgment. So tool is objective, and types of tools, so we need to understand what are the types of tool. So there are different types of tool. First is inquiry form. So in inquiry form, so there are three things: rating scale, questionnaire and attitude scale. So when I say rating scale, so when you we are using this app Rapido, Zomato and like Swiggy. So on that when we buy anything, and after that they give you this rating, and we have to give them rate. You can give out of 5 to out of 5 2 or 3 and whatever you like. So it is called rating. And when I say questionnaire, so in questionnaire there are a list of questions. And what is attitude scale? So in attitude scale, we have to understand what is behavior and what is their attitude towards your topic, their thinking and their thoughts about your your subject and your topic. So it is like attitude scale. And when I say psychological test, so in psychological test they use behavioral tests, and also they are using psychological and also inventories. So aptitude test, achievement test, and also they use this inventory. You need to understand. So these are the tools of these are types of tools. So you need to remember this. And when I say inquiry form, so in inquiry form, so I have to give my student a questionnaire, and they fill up all those things. And what is rating scale? So it refers a scale with a set of points that describe varying degrees of dimension of attribute, and it is a set of categories designed to elicit information about the quantitative and qualitative abstract. Also in this Likert scale, and it is a numerical scale, graphical scale, standard scale, and rating by cumulative points. Also you can force choices rating. And what are the advantages of rating scales? So rating scales are less time consuming to develop, and it can be used with a large number of stimuli, and they also allow for quantitative comparison. And rating scale is quite interesting to the raters, and especially if graphic method are used. And disadvantages of rating scale: so limited reliability, ease of use, and sophisticated treatment planning, errors of central tendency in and substantial variation and halo effect and construct error. And when I say questionnaire, so there is the list of questions, so it is called questionnaire. You need to understand what are the types of questionnaire. So P.V. Young gave this two types of questionnaire. So in this structure questionnaire and non-structure So in a structured questionnaire, there accurate communication and accurate response. And non-structured questionnaire, so it is known as a interview guide, and it contains defined subject matter areas, and the interviewer is free to arrange the forms of and timing of inquiry. And what are the advantages of questionnaire? So giving way to put forward, summarizing written form helps in collecting information, and less pressure on the subject to respond and to the point answer. So like when I say questionnaire, so you don't have to explain more, so you have to just put your questions. It is very simple and helps in minimizing the expenses and validity and projects. And there are also disadvantage of this questionnaire. So rigid and complicated questionnaire without holding the true answer, confusion about actual meaning, and also incomplete answers, not matter of interest. And what is attitude scale? So it is like defined many ways, but all definition conclude it is a established way of thinking, feeling, reflected in person's behavior towards others. So it is called attitude scale. So in this Likert scale is there, Gutman scale, Thurston scale, and semantic differential scale. And what are the advantages of attitude scale? So an attitude scale is a learner's tendency, so it can be learned, and it is a point or object of reference, and it also include certain aspect of personality as interest and appreciation and social conduct. So it is like and psychological test and inventory. So in this we need to understand what is achievement test. So this test attempt to measure the present level of performance of a group or an individual. So it is achievement test. And what are the advantages? So it allows for data to collected about a student's achievement and learning that help to inform educator and curriculum planners and state official who can help to determine the budget for a school. Also, it also help to point out instructional leaders who are falling short of their duties and whose standards are performing below standard. And what are the disadvantages of achievement test? So this student lack critical thinking skills, and due to this test they are being focused on predominantly or rote memorization. So you are not thinking like the way you want to think, so their critical thinking is banned. So you just your researcher want to answer your question, but not in your perspective. So it is like critical thinking is not there. So what are the advantages of aptitude test? This test attempt to predict the capability or degree of achievement, and that may be expected from individual in a particular activity. And this aptitude when so it is a means by which one can fill the relatively knowledge of a person in terms of his intelligence and also his knowledge in general. Aptitude tests are valuable in making program and curricular decisions. And what are the disadvantages? So the physical, social and emotional environment of pupil is often different from other people, so the reduces the predictive value of aptitude test. When I say inventory, so it is like you invent something and you find out something from your experiment. सो कोई नई चीज़ है उसको शोध खोल करना उसको इन्वेंटरी बोलते हैं. बट इन एजुकेशनल फील्ड, इन रिसर्च, व्हाट इज दैट? So the purpose of inventory is to list the specific trait, activity or program and check to what extent the presence or of that ability. So it is like a two-way interest inventory and personality inventory. And techniques of research, so we can use observation and observation, we need to understand in research how you can observe your things. So it is when I say I just want to observe all my researcher works, and I just want to understand what is this. So it is like observation, and according to CA Morse, observation employs relatively more visual senses than audio or video organs. Here is the classification on the basis of forms of observation: formal observation, informal observation, on the basis of control of observation, so control observation and uncontrolled observation, on the basis of planning of observation, so it is like planned observation and unplanned observation. So there you don't need any particular time. So when I say planned, so like in my mind, and I tell my other people, so this is like I will come to your college, I will come to your school, college, and they are like be ready for my questionnaire or anything. So it is like plan on the basis of direction and observation, direct observation and indirect, and on the basis of information and observation. So there are three things: qualitative, quantitative, and quantitative observation. Earlier we talk about a qualitative, and what is difference between this qualitative and quantitative. And on the basis of interviews, observation, individuals observation, group observation, and on the basis of person observation, so self observation and outsiders observation. Also you can use this observation in what are the features. I forgot to mention this a complete participant, observant, and participant as a observer, and observers as a participant, and complete observers. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of observation? Okay, what are the advantages of observation, and what are the disadvantages? So first we need to understand what are the advantages of observation. So when we say observation, so it is like a very important part of research. So personality is better assessed by observation of behavior than the reporting, which may be hide facts. And also the main strength of observation is that it provides direct access to the social phenomena under the consideration. And what are the disadvantages? So convert behavior and trait cannot be observed. So these are the, and the behavior of grown up adult people turns artificial when they become conscious. And when I say I'm like when someone is coming and someone is taking picture of me, so I'm become very conscious. So when someone is not near, and when I'm alone, so my that time my behavior is different, and when I'm with people, so my behavior is very different. So you need to understand this, so you will get all the answers. And their interview, so when I say interview, so interview is I'm taking someone's interview, and I'm asking them questions, and I can ask, I want to ask in this research, so it is about only research. So in this interview method you can ask and direct communication with your researcher and subject for collection data. So type of interview, so in clinical interview, research interview, group interview, and direct interview, and non-directive interview, and also it is like a focus interview. So there are these types of interview, and you need to understand this is very simple. Like when I say it is a clinical clinical interview. So in this they use social work and psychology, and they use all the things. So what are the advantages of interview? So interview can be used to collect facts and information about people's place, work, as etc. And also interviews are available in range of style. And what are the disadvantages? So hesitation to express and vague and unclear questions, time restriction, less time of thinking, and subjective in nature. So these are disadvantages. And projective techniques you can use. So in this technique of data collection has been developed by the psychologists to use projection or respondent for inferring about underlying motives, urges, and intention. So projective techniques play a significant role in motivational research or an attitude surveys. So in this you can use this technique: association, completion, and role playing, creative and constructive. So this is like this. And universe, when I say universe, so it is a consist of all survey elements that qualify for inclusion in the research study, and the precise definition of the universe for particular study is set by the research and question. So it is like a universe. And when we say about research, so in research we have vast things, so you have to delimit those things, and you need to delimit your sample. So it is called sample namuno. So in the whole universe you have to take this much. So you work on your research, it is called namuno sample. So it is the representative of portion of population is called a sample. And to obtain a representative sample, and researchers select each unit in a specified way under controlled conditions. So what is this? So there are 4 steps involved this process. So defining the population, listing the population, and selecting a representative sample, and obtaining an adequate sample. And what are the characteristics of a good sample? So the sample must be representative of a population, and you need to delimit those things. You have the whole universe, and you have to select one sample, and you have to work on that. So it is research. That's why research is very difficult in terms of this. You have to delimit those things. So it is called sample. A good sample and sample size must be selected depending upon the research objective, and sample should be flexible, and sample should be reflect all the members and population of data. And what are the techniques of sampling? So it is first technique is probability sampling. When I say probability, so it is like the unit of population are not selected at the descent of the researcher, but by the means of a certain procedures which ensure that every unit of population has one fixed probability of being included in the sample, and this method is also called as a random sampling. And what is the characteristic of probability sampling? So according to Good, each unit in sample has some known probability entering in the sample, and also it in this process of sampling, it is automatic in one or more steps. Selection in unit of sample, so it is called random sampling. When we say random sampling, so you have to choose random things. And what are the types of probability sampling? Simple and unrestricted random sampling, lottery method, use of random tables. First is simple or unrestricted random sampling, and second is stratified random sampling, and third is a systematic sampling, and fourth is cluster sampling and multi-stage sampling. 5 is. And what are the advantages of probability sampling? Sorry. It helps the researcher to know the size of sample needed to achieve any desired knowledge of accuracy, and also researcher may be able to specify the chance of a unit being selected, and this method also helps to estimate the magnitude of error due to sampling. And non-probability sampling. So what is this? So in this non-probability sampling, the units are selected at the descent of a researcher, and such sample use human judgment in selecting units and have no theoretical basis for estimated population characteristic. So it is like a non-probability sampling method are very convenient in the situation. And what are the types of non-probability sampling? So quota or chunk sampling, incidental, voluntary, convenient sampling, also snowball sampling. So you need to remember snowball sampling is a type of non-probability sampling. And what are the advantages of non-probability sampling? So they are quicker and cost effective and more convenient than probability sampling. And non-probability samples do not require a sample frame, and sample size quota requirements are usually achieved. And how you can write your research proposal, you need to understand this also. In a research proposal, how you can write? So according to Cole, the research proposal is a systematic plan which brings to focus the primarily planning that will be needed to accomplish the purpose of proposed study. So steps of writing research. So you need to identify and title of the project, statement of your problem, and assumption, limitation and delimitation. So you need to understand when I say delimit. So when you take your topic for research, so you find so many things in your research, but you have to delimit those things, okay, I have to focus on one thing and I will work on this particular topic. So it is like very important to delimit those things. So it is like you delimit your sample from universe. We talk about earlier, and I told you what is universe and what is sample. And review related literature, hypothesis, methods, summary and conclusion, references and bibliography, time schedule, budget schedule, types of research proposal. So research proposal for degree, so it is like for your master degree, you need this research proposal. For your PhD degree, you need a research proposal, and research proposal for finance assistance. When I say this, so it is like UGC will give this JRF to those students who qualify JRF. So they gave this stipend to those students, to those researcher. And also researcher proposal for grants by government, UGC and NCRT, ICSSR, they give money to researcher. So it is about this. And in next live session I will talk about analysis of data. Wait a minute. Analysis of data and qualitative research design. In this live session we talk about research, educational research variable and hypothesis. Also we talk about tool, sampling and writing proposal, how to write a proposal. So we talk about this all things, and right now I just think, okay, I have to take a break, and we'll meet again, and we have to finish this analysis of data and qualitative research design. So it is like this, and I am ending this session. Bye everyone, thank you so much, and good night everyone. Happy reading, happy study, and work hard, work smart, and good night everyone. Thank you so much. We'll meet again. Bye everyone, thank you so much.